So for this video, we're going to be covering the fire signs part of your weekly forecast for the next week. This is going to be March 22nd through March 28th. So this week we're starting with Aries, so happy Aries season. Your talisman for now is going to be the fire opal, which is going to be talking about trying to be willing to embolden yourself. And then we have the vulture, which tells us to take on tasks that we don't normally want to take on. So when we have these two combined, your message this week as far as those two are concerned is to remind yourself that if you are strong, willing, and able, that should be the cause as to why you're doing it, rather than regardless of what the task is at hand. There's going to be things that all of us don't want to do. Taking out the trash, sometimes taking a shower, sometimes taking the dog for a walk when we don't feel good. These are things that we don't have to, but if you're ready, willing, and able, please do that. Don't hold yourself back. So, we're looking at your week ahead. It's starting off a little rocky, but ending on a really solid note, so that's a really good sign. We're starting with the Tower card as it moves into the Princess of Wands, who moves into the Ten of Pentacles, followed by the Two of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, the Hanged Man, and the Queen of Wands. So when we see a reading like this play out, what's really interesting to me is that what kind of disrupts your world is new information rather than the lack of information. So in the earlier parts of your week, you're going to receive news or information that you've been kind of looking for and waiting for, but it's going to cause kind of like a disruption in your normal routine. The work and life home balance is going to kind of tip out of balance and start to move into other areas. The Two of Pentacles is asking you to try to remember to juggle your priorities in about midweek. Wednesday, Thursday of this specific week, we're looking at rest after some fighting, but we're seeing a juggling of priorities. So maybe there's going to be some internal conflict of like, we should have been doing more, is what comes to mind. With the Hanged Man being there right on Friday, makes it feel kind of like everything is up in the air and there's like, we're not having a forward momentum anymore. But if we just enjoy that pause and sit in it for a little while, we're going to see on Saturday the rewards of our hectic week. Because the Queen of Wands here is trying to look back and go, there are things to salvage, there are things that are of use to us here. So let's look at our week this week as something that's going to be kind of like, pay attention to how we receive information, and remember that responsibility is the ability to respond, not how do you handle a situation. So that's going to be your lesson this week, Aries. So, yeah. So this is for Leo. Leo. Mine's Schwester, Leo. And, she's not my favorite Leo, but she's not my least favorite Leo. Okay. So, this part of the video is going to be focusing on Leos in our fire cycle. So, your talisman for right now is going to be Fulgurite, and then your mentor is going to be the Sea Serpent. With Fulgurite and the Sea Serpent here, we're talking about emotional release, because that emotional release is going to end up providing us a remarkable lift to our spirit. So if we get rid of that emotional baggage that we've been holding on to for a while, we allow the lightning bolt of Fulgurite to come through and break it, then it'll allow us to feel powerful rather than subdued and suppressed. So, release your emotions, don't hold on to them or bottle them up. They're not helpful to you this week in that fashion. So, we're looking at the start of our week, and it starts kind of a little rough because we're feeling a little lost and without purpose. And that's going to follow through. So we're starting with the Five of Pentacles into the Eight of Cups, the Magician, Three of Cups, Three of Pentacles, Six of Wands, and Two of Pentacles. Where at the end of the week we're coming back to kind of maybe, should we go back to our normal method of procrastinating and dealing with things on a as-needed basis rather than preparation. So in the beginning of our week, with that lack of purpose and drive, comes from the Five of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups, representing a lack of discipline and a sense of loss. So that tells me that we're dealing with a lot of emotional and mental blocks that are making us feel not very, like on paper, we don't look like we've accomplished a whole lot. So it makes us maybe not feel like we're doing everything that we should be, and so we're entering a little bit of a pity party. We see that by midweek, so that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we chose to get a grip because we're starting with the Magician, Three of Cups, and Three of Pentacles. These 2-3 specifically are focused around prosperity and how your skills can create money. So if you put them both next to the Magician like they are in my layout, then we have the Magician basically saying that we're the master of these particular skills and assets to us. So if that's why I'm saying that maybe we're doing our favorite procrastination method, because all of this is self-driven. The lack of discipline is self-discipline. The feeling of loss is from internal, which means that we're the ones kind of spinning on the spike rather than someone else helping us do that. Get out of your head, get out of your feels for just a little bit, look around at what's going on, get to the facts. Because you've got skills, you've got the prosperity. Link with the people that you need to network properly with, and allow yourself to learn some new skills, or go back and go, what skills have I learned in maybe that I had in college that maybe I had a really small passion about and didn't really do anything with. Maybe there's something more there. I would look in those directions. Following that, we lead to the Six of Wands and back to the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is reminding us to kind of like remember to keep our list of priorities short and sweet, making us say like, hey, these are the things we have to check off and get done before we're allowed to procrastinate and do nothing. With just before that card is the Six of Wands, which is our pile of accomplishments, the things that we've come so far and gone, you know, I've done really well so far, I'm pretty proud of myself. Let's look back and really polish those and dust them off, because they're going to make us feel stronger long term. So Leo, right now your message overall is to just don't fall into habits that make you end up doing nothing. If you notice that that's happening, maybe have some form of emotional release, whether that's happiness, anger, sadness, I don't care what the emotion is, just get it out. Whether that's on paper, do it in a healthy and constructive way. I'm not saying do it in a crazy, nasty way. Anyways. Okay, so this is going to be the, last but not least, is going to be our Sagittarius friends. So we're dealing with the last one of fire. Our wanderers have a couple messages. First and foremost, your talisman is going to be your hematite and quartz, and your guide is going to be the bat. So with this combination, it makes me think that attitudes and thoughts are kind of solidifying at this time, and we're being presented with the information that we haven't been presented with enough information, so we're starting to ask lots of questions. This is an excellent time to be asking those questions, especially given your reading, because things are starting to calm down and relax. Okay, so we're starting out your week. It's starting with the Sun card, going into the Seven of Cups, the Queen of Cups, then into the Lord card, the Lovers, then King of Cups, and ending with the Four of Wands. So this week, we can see that we're starting in a really good place and we're ending in a good place. We're starting with celebration, but I think that celebration is kind of like keeping us in the place of like lofty daydreaminess, where we're not really solidifying plans or making anything going on. So we're keeping it kind of chill. About Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, real decision making kind of presents itself. Our intuition kicks in, and our dreams kind of give us messages that maybe gives us a little bit more information about what we're dealing with in our current life. The Lord card being present followed by the Lovers card tells me that we're trying to make a really big decision. Maybe this decision's about a big move, maybe it's about a change in career or location. Really it comes down to the power that we have right now isn't shifting or anything, it's just we're sharing it more openly. So then we get to the end of our week with the King of Cups and the Four of Wands, telling me that there's finally a pause emotionally and physically that is much needed for our bodies. So overall, your messages are going to be ask tons of questions, listen to your intuition and dreams, let them ask questions, let them continue to ask questions. When you get to decision-making processes, choose to be the king in the situation. Take control, be the one who's making the call, because you have the information, you know what is the best course of action. And then finally, round out your week with some emotional and physical healing. So that could be some much-needed rest. Maybe this is a good time to do some self-care and really focus on you. So that's going to round out our 3 readings for the fire signs. If you liked this reading and you'd like a personalized reading, please reach out to me on Instagram at Coriander's Tarot or at Coriander Stoneridge. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Share these videos with your fellow fire signs. And besides that, it's time for the outro card, which I'm not really going to continue to do.